What's up, Soul Family? Coming at you with another collective reading. This time we're going to be using the Goddesses, Gods, and Guardians, the Mystical Journey Oracle, Porcelain Tarot, and last but not least, the Pythia Tarot. Let's get right into it. We have Self-Realization. I feel like this one's a little bit more of a clear-cut one. This has a lot to do with our path to getting to our higher selves. One of the biggest goals behind a spiritual awakening is to get to know your immortal self, getting to realize who you really are beyond the veil. I've heard many times that all paths lead to the same source. So in this picture, there are two different timelines that are being displayed, but both of them get back to the same higher self. This card has a lot to do with taking inspired action and walking your own unique path to get to where you want to be. Bashar often says that if you have a gift and you're not sharing it, then you're being selfish, because there's somebody who can benefit from the gift that you have. All of us are talented and gifted in so many different ways. It's just a matter of how we choose to use our gifts and our abilities for both our benefits and for the benefit of humanity itself. Even when it comes to the very mundane aspects of life, bakers, people who mow our lawns, people who build houses, all of these things are very needed skills that help our existence. This even applies to artists, this applies to counselors, therapists, doctors, this applies to anybody who's walking this human path. A lot of times, or most times, we have some form of ability or some kind of skill or some kind of knowledge that is just of service to others. We just don't really realize that in the moment. Almost dropped the deck. And we had two that came out. We have Mawu, Lisa, and Kuan, kindness, nurturing, and balance. So Mawu Lisa is a West African non-binary deity. They are said to have two faces, one of a man and one of the woman. So this card is definitely confirmation for those who are walking a non-traditional gender path. But this card also doubles as a reminder to stay in balance and make sure that you are not overexerting yourself. Make sure that you're not doing too much hard work compared to nurturing yourself. Especially with Kuan coming out, these cards have a lot of the energy of embracing the feminine aspects of yourself and becoming very loving to yourself, becoming very kind, becoming very nurturing. It's just important to spoil yourself as it is to work hard. As they say, treat yourself. What you are seeking will only come to you as you learn to love yourself and accept yourself as you are. It's time to give yourself the same compassion that you give others. And it's also a time to embrace all aspects of yourself. Just as biological sex is, gender is also on a spectrum. There is nothing that is rigid within our human experience. The science backs both the concept of gender being a construct and sex not being something that is black and white. And after this video, I'll actually do a little post for both of these deities, just so there can be a little bit more of an in-depth look on what they are, or who they are. Alright, I'm going to pull two from Porcelain and two from the other, and we'll go from there. So we have the Fool coming out with the Page of Swords, the Devil, and last but not least, I guess we got two more coming out. We got Hercules with Strength and Pythia coming out again. So with Self-Realization and the Fool, there's definitely the energy of embracing walking down this new path, embracing this awakening, so to speak, embracing this experience. It comes with having to learn a lot, having to discern through a lot of information, and having to apply and integrate that knowledge as you get it. For some or many of us, This includes learning divination skills. Many of us have the ability to channel, and many of us are learning how to tap into this. It's said that the Oracle of Delphi used methane gas in order to give their prophecy, and that their predictions were highly accurate. They were renowned at what they did, and yeah, they were actual real oracles. From what I understood, I believe they had a role for centuries within the Temple of Apollo. The oracles had a lot of weight when it came to war, when it came to politics, and even personal affairs. They were essentially mediums for the Temple of Apollo. So this could have a lot to do with maybe people stepping into their mediumship skills as well. With Eris, the devil, and Strength, Hercules, coming out, I feel like this has a lot to do with breaking out of those old rigid structures and breaking out of the confines of what society has a lot of us under. Maybe even just breaking out of toxic patterns that are self-induced. The Strength card does have an element of learning how to tame certain aspects of ourselves and learning how to use it properly. This could even be for people who are maybe overcoming addictions of sorts. People are having to rely on their inner strength to break away from those old patterns and those old experiences. Some of those toxic patterns do include self-deprecation, even as a joke. How we speak to ourselves and how we allow others to speak to us have a heavy impact on how we walk through this world. It's crucial that you are very kind to yourself even when you joke, because your subconscious mind does not know the difference. There are also a lot of limiting beliefs that we tend to bind ourselves to throughout this experience. Be very mindful of the things that you choose to identify with. There could even be issues with over-identifying with certain aspects of the human experience, such as over-identifying with your mental health or even certain conditions of your mind. While certain things are an important tool to be used to help us understand ourselves, it's also important not to allow ourselves to become a victim to those same things. Our minds are capable of overcoming anything. It all depends on what you allow yourself to believe. And furthermore, whatever you start to tell yourself is whatever's going to start showing up in your reality. So if you tell yourself like, oh, I'm too dumb, then the universe is going to go ahead and give you experiences to feel just as dumb. If you constantly feel worthless, then you'll attract in experiences that will validate that sometimes. Even when it comes to certain aspects of mental health, this can definitely apply. But take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not a medical professional. But all I'm trying to say is, once you start placing labels on yourself, your mind and reality will look for ways to back that up and to reinforce those beliefs that you're trying to apply, be that positive or negative. That's why so many people stress meditation and being in the present moment, because when you are grounded and centered in the present moment, then you're not worrying about all those other things, all those other labels, all those other aspects. You are simply experiencing what is in that moment. You are not your mind, you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions. You are the awareness bound to the body that has those things. And guys, this was your reading. If this was of any benefit to you or you enjoyed it, feel free to like, subscribe, or let me know in the comments. If you had a topic that you wanted me to cover in my next reading, then please let me know. I'll be more than happy to go over it. Also, don't forget to check out my Manifestation and my Aerokinesis ebooks. I wrote both of these books with the intention of approaching these topics in a very grounded way that anybody has the ability to access and learn. They're available at the link in my bio in my Etsy shop. Hope you guys have a great day, and peace and blessings, everyone.